Hi, I'm Stephen Torbeck. I'm a field consultant with the Motz Group. I'm here in central Indiana on a beautiful, sunny, but very windy day. Joining me is Dr. Paul Kaiser and Garrett Daniel from Beech Grove. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. We're one of our three brand new synthetic turf fields, so we're excited to have you guys out.
So Dr. Kaiser, can you tell us a little bit about how all three of these projects really came to be from a historical standpoint?
Well, 13 years ago when I came to Beech Grove as superintendent, Jim Hensley was my former Legion baseball coach back in the 70s, and this was a very, very swampy, desolate field. We played down at the park, and one of our goals from the very first time was to upgrade the fields, and we named the field after Jim Hensley when he passed away, and we were just thrilled to get his vision and the vision of our community. We conducted a referendum back this June, and the community supported it, and now we have probably the nicest facilities in Marion County. And before our football field, it was not a pleasure to play on it. And now we're first class all the way with all three of our baseball field, our softball field, and the stadium where we host both football, soccer, equally as important, our band program, and the community has just supported this 100%.
So Dr. Kaiser, if you could, obviously big investment went into these fields, but how is that going to help the district long term from an additional revenue and fiscal responsibility standpoint?
Well, one thing, a selling point to our community when we held the referendum this past June is that this is going to have a huge economic impact on our school corporation and equally as important, the community. We've already scheduled almost every weekend for summer baseball tournaments, and softball's being scheduled, and that's going to bring people here. They'll spend money on gas, hotels, food, so it's going to impact the businesses in the community. From the athletic standpoint, for Garrett and his team, the amount of revenue that's going to come in, which is going to benefit our kids, so we can put them in first-class uniforms and let them travel. Band competitions. We now can host statewide band competitions and, again, help our performing arts departments in many, many ways and just make a huge impact for our community, our team, for generations. We're excited about it.
Here at Beech Grove, we've got three very unique surfaces, and as a result, you have three very unique synthetic turf systems relative to the sports that are going to be played on it. With baseball, for instance, we have our triple play system that incorporates different densities and different heights depending on where on the baseball field you are. And very similarly, you have a system like that at softball. On the football field, we have our CrossFlex dual fiber system over a shock pad. So Garrett, if you could, from an athlete's perspective or maybe from a feedback perspective, what are you hearing about how each of these fields play?
I've heard nothing but positive things. I know the kids, obviously some of them are used to playing on turf in the summertime for travel baseball, but it's definitely new. I mean, the kids aren't used to seeing these nice facilities. But from that standpoint, they've loved them. I mean, they're getting used to them every day, and we enjoy the fact that if it rains, that they can get out there like right after school and keep playing. I think the use has just been the biggest part. I mean, I can actually walk outside at the high school now and I'll see track practicing, I'll see football team out there, the soccer team will be out. I mean, we'll have all of our sports basically going in one day, which before in the past, it was never an option. So that's been a huge impact for us.
So Garrett, as the athletic director, can you tell me a little bit about what these three fields have meant to your programs from a scheduling standpoint?
Yeah, from a scheduling standpoint, it's been great. I know in years past, it was, any type of rain, sometimes snow you get, we're really looking to, have to get our maintenance group out there to do some work in the field, or even myself sometimes. So it was tough. We'd write in a lot of cancellations, a lot of rescheduling, so that's a lot of moving parts. But I mean, now I can, just attest to the most recent snow we had in April. We were able to play the next day. So I came out here at 10 o'clock one morning and there's snow covering the field, and an hour and a half later it was all gone. And so we ended up hosting both games that evening, both baseball and softball, which I think is great because our kids get to play.
So Dr. Kaiser, with your new field going to synthetic turf, in this case a dual fiber system over a shock pad, how has that affected the overall safety and performance of your teams?
Well, in past years, before this fall, when the stadium field went in and then these fields for the spring, we were the worst in Marion County in central Indiana. Now, thanks to the Motz Group, we have the best. And the ability to sit down and watch a game from the end zone where I watch them, to see the ability of our kids, because we're naturally quick, being able to get upfield, But the important thing is just to individualize student safety. Our athletic trainer was confident that it would make us safer for our kids, and that held true to form as we had less injuries, playing on an old, dilapidated grass field. So it was great for our kids and great for their individualized future.
So with baseball and softball, you've got a Motz Group triple play system, which really incorporates 3 completely different styles of turf and infield combinations. So on the grass area, you've got a 2-inch tall slip film product. In the infield skins area, you've got a 1 3/4 inch tall slip film with a thatch in it to help stabilize the infill. And then in your warning track, you've got an even lighter face weight product that's infilled with a ground walnut shell, allergen-free ground walnut shell, to give you that change in sound and feel as you're approaching a vertical obstruction. So can you talk to me a little bit about what has that feedback been, either from players or even in your own experience? How does this play when compared to a pristine natural field?
Right. Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I mean, obviously it's turf, but it plays very well. It's a lot more safer in my opinion. You don't get those nasty hops you would get on another grass field where it's not well maintained. And me being a former outfielder myself, I definitely appreciate the difference in the contrast from the grass to the warning track. It definitely makes a huge difference in knowing that, if you're getting close to the fence or the dugout areas, that, a kid knows to slow up and, be aware of that.
So Garrett, obviously these fields are relatively new, but you've had an opportunity to host a couple of games on it. What are you hearing from the opposing schools or maybe the others in your conference that have visited and the community members in terms of their thoughts and experiences with the field?
It's just a great standpoint for people who want to come to Beech Grove and move here, bring their families here and grow up here. And it's just a wow factor. The spectators who come here and even our Beech Grove community see these fields, they're just really, excited and impressed by what we have to offer now.
Well, Dr. Kaiser, Garrett, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you all and getting to know both of you and your team here. We've been thrilled to be a part of this project and really appreciate you joining us today for this Fieldside Chat.
We're just proud to have the Motz Group part of the Hornet family, and you've made a difference for our kids and our community for generations, and we're just so lucky to have you part of our team and our family.